Good day and welcome to Sports Fan Africa Independent Television, AIT. My name is Osaibovo Usifu. On today's program, our focus is on grassroots sports, the foundation where young talent are discovered and nurtured for the future of Nigerian sports. We will begin with school sport, widely regarded as the starting point for many successful athletes. Recently, an exciting sporting event took place here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, bringing together over 100 children competing in variety of sports, including football, athletics, badminton, and other activities aimed at encouraging participation and talent discovery at an early age. The event not only provided competition, but also an opportunity for young athletes to showcase their potentials while learning the values of teamwork, discipline, and sportsmanship. Here now is a report with Eva Uduimo.
The promotion of extracurricular activities in schools has for years been a veritable platform for discovering young talents and grooming them for the future in different careers cutting across sports, entertainment, art, among others. Premier International School Abuja has for years demonstrated this through its biannual inter-house sports competition. Every 2 years, the school provides a platform for young students to showcase their sporting talent and give parents an opportunity to discover other numerous skills that could shape their children's future. This year's 7th edition of the biannual inter-house sports competition, themed Carnival of Champions, saw a display of sportsmanship, teamwork, and cultural diversity, showcasing the school's commitment to holistic education. The sporting event kicked off with a vibrant Calabar Carnival-like cultural display, setting the tone for a day of fun, excitement, and competition. The different houses named after the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory, namely Abaji, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Kwali, and Abuja Municipal, march past the judges' stand, proudly displaying their unique colors and team spirit.
Honorably commanded by our Yusuf. The commander in front, handing to the chairman of the occasion.
And they have 4 dignitaries here. We have the parade commander.
We have your permission to continue this parade.
They have a very vibrant commander, Edward Bassi. Very vibrant.
It's your life.
See right there.
This is to honor the chairman of this great occasion. This salute.
In the opening speech, the chairman of the occasion highlighted the importance of sports in fostering unity, discipline, and healthy competition among students, while the head of school emphasized the value of sports in character development and academic excellence.
Premier International School is, I think it's known for excellence, and it's known for very high standards. My children have been at Premier for over 5 years now, and it's a school that I'm very comfortable with. They have very high standards of learning, discipline, and just basically, it's a place where I believe that children are well equipped to grow into well-rounded adults. So it's a place that I think is known for excellence and creativity and innovation. Yes, so education isn't just about book knowledge. Education is also about the mind, about the body too. So sports generally is important to help the kids to develop mentally and physically So it's very good that they are holding this event. It also shows that they are concerned about the welfare of their pupils, to ensure that the kids also develop their minds and their bodies, and they're equipped to go into the larger society and become useful members of the society.
We try to be intentional. We are a school that aspire to be the greatest, but having African origin. And so we try to do what we call enculturation. When you hear about sport, it's always like Western and Western and Western. And so what we try to do is to bring our culture into the sports festival. And that was why in the March past we try to make the queens and the kings appear in their cultural attire, so that when the world is seeing us, they'll say, yes, sports is gaining ground in Africa. From that display and that outfit, anybody watching it could see that, oh, I know where these people are from. They are from Africa. And so all we just tried to do was to showcase the rich African cultural background that our children have. And then to also educate our children that, look, wherever you aspire to, you have a root. And your root is Africa. And you cannot drop the ball. So they need to be aware of that from the beginning. And we believe this education will follow them for life.
I think the children are very excited. And this is one of the key motivation. We want to get the children to be, interested in what we are doing. They are very excited about, coming out of their classroom and involved in a healthy competition among themselves. And we believe this is catching them young, preparing them right from this young age to try to see that we also encourage the building up of champions who know that will end up, representing the country in one way or the other. In everything we do in Premier, we make it a partnership that we will make sure we carry our parents, along with them. And for doing that, I think we don't have any difficulty because they are part and parcel of what we are doing. They buy into it, not just in participating, but even in supporting, the program preparation. And so this is a program that the parents also own up to.
The day's activities commence with captivating performances from the students, including a ballerina dance and early years march past.
No more hiding. These guys are reliable. And there you have it. There you have it.
Then came the sport event. To make the program more exciting and diverse, the primary school management fund races like the teddy bear races, egg races, the 25-meter races, and the relay event for primary and secondary school students. Parents, visitors, and invited guests were on the edge of their seats during the 100 meters, 200 meters, and the 400-meter races as students sprinted their way to victory.
the number of parents that are here. So that is to show that the level of acceptance of sports among our parents' population. Yes, parents have the fear, and that was in those days. We try to educate during our meetings, during our interaction with the parents. We try to let them know that sports is not just about running on the track. It's not just about playing football. It increases the mental ability of the children. Our children are doing well in academics because they are smart, first of all, and they are physically fit. And they have resilience. And all of these characters, where do they get them from? Sport promotes all of these characters. And so the parents are beginning to have a buy-in. And maybe these days, sports is gaining a lot of fortune. Okay, so every parent wants their children to be footballers, to be track, to be an athlete and all that. So that again is adding to the wider acceptance. But basically, the school has spent a lot of time, a lot of resources in reaching out to parents and encouraging them to let their children come out for this kind of activity.
To be honest, I'm not a sport person, but coming here to come and witness this is fun. And I think I should be more interested in sports. Because seeing the little ones trying their best, it's just fun. Because for me, it's just the energy. They did a lot. Normally, if I go to Intersport, I stay for a little while, then leave. My little daughter was asking me, Mommy, you said you just stay for a while. I said, no, this is more interesting. So let me stay and enjoy the whole thing.
I'm glad that my school can give me the opportunity to truly express myself when it comes to sports, because not every school has the privilege to do that. So I'm glad that we can have an opportunity to show our talents and to really put in the effort to work on our body and fitness. I personally love sports. I always participate in this because it's just something that doesn't only help you physically but also helps you mentally to relieve stress from school and studying. So I really love it.
It's very good and I'm liking what they are doing. This year was better than last year, especially concerning this new inter-house sportswear. It was really nice.
Make your athletes sit, please. Make your athletes sit. Banana is being handled by our old school admin, Mr. Chris Ukebo. All right, thank you, everyone. If you're standing, kindly sit down. Primary school.
The parents' fun games followed with the egg and the spoon race and a thrilling tug of war competition. The Learning Support Unit, which proved to be a major highlight of the day, came next with students showcasing their skills and determination in the tire and sack race.
The first position is 21 gold medals, 14 silvers, and 13 bronze medals goes to Abaji.
At the end of the various competitions, Abaji House emerged overall winners, followed closely by Abuja Municipal and Kwali House respectively. For Premier International School, the 7th edition of the biannual Inter-House Sports Competition is a reaffirmation of the school's focus on holistic education, commitment to excellence, and the discovery of inbuilt talent that would help the children excel in other future endeavors. According to the school management, the Carnival of Champions was not just about winning and building character, but exposing young generation to the importance of sports, teamwork, and character development. The demonstration of the true spirit of sportsmanship, celebration of Nigeria's culture and unity, showed brightly as the students from various houses came together to support each other, which highlights the school's focus on character development, leadership, and community service. While congratulating the winners, the various participating houses, and appreciating parents and management staff for the success of this year's edition, the school noted that the event was a reminder that sports and education can go hand in hand.
Welcome back. And if you are just joining us, you're watching Sport for Africa Independent Television, AIT. And today's edition is focusing on grassroots sports development. Beyond school sports, grassroots tournament also plays a major role in the discovery and nurturing of young talent across the country. One of such competition is the Prosperity Cup, which has grown to become one of the biggest grassroots football tournament in Nigeria. The Director General of that competition, talking about the Prosperity Cup, Ono Akbe, recently spoke to AIT Sports about the 6th edition of the tournament, which is currently underway, and what fans and participating teams are to expect. Let's hear him.
Well, first I want to thank His Excellency Senator Doediri, the Governor of Bayelsa State, the Sports Master General of the state, for his support. This edition is unprecedented because for the first time, an international brand all the way from Spain in Europe got in touch with us and have decided to work with us to develop our football. First, they handled a 4-day coaching clinic where grassroots coaches, 50 of them were honed and put through the rudiments of coaching. Equally, they looked at our players and I tried to identify young outstanding talents that would have the possibility of playing in Europe. Then finally, we have started the process of setting up and building an academy in Bayelsa State affiliated to FC Barcelona. So this is one of the most exciting things, I must say, that has happened to this tournament. In fact, it feels like all the efforts we've put in since 2015 is coming to fruition now. Now, this year, we were very intentional. We made sure that we had policies and programs in place which would develop and help the skill set of football. Football is an industry and there are so many layers to it. We had a training program for coaches, which I just mentioned, coordinated by the FC Barcelona technical team. We had a coaching and a training program for referees. This was the 3rd edition we're having. And I must be very proud to say, because of the support of the government and the governor, and of course the sports commissioner, more of our referees are finding a place in the international scene and the national scene. One of our referees has even been selected as a FIFA badge referee, which is as a result of our direct investment in referees. For the past 3 years, we've been having referee training programs, and this is really something to be proud of and to be excited about. And so you see, we had a direct and dedicated process of building the capacity of our personnel for the tournament. And guess what? Last weekend, we went to Brass, 3 hours on the boat. And we went to Brass to kick off the tournament, which is where we normally start because it's one of the farthest regions of the state. A 3 hours boat ride, which by God's grace, by next year, we'll be driving there, courtesy of His Excellency and the road project is building to Brass. And so we kicked off from Brass. Yes, it met the expectations. We are excited at the fact that we saw a lot of youngsters and talented young people that have a place in our academy, in our proposed academy, and we are excited with the fact that the tournament is going on hitch-free without challenges. I must thank everyone for that.
Okay, how many teams are participating in this particular tournament, and what are the procedures of the tournament?
Okay, first and foremost, this year is a special edition because Bayelsa is 30 years old. And so because of that, we had a special prize, which is one-off. A 30 million prize money was fixed for the overall male champion. And so the total prize money for this year is a whopping 80 million naira. This is the largest in the history of grassroots football in the country. And we are setting records with that. With this, we have a total of 257 teams, 228 male teams, and 27 female teams, and 2 para soccer teams. Some years ago, when the tournament was getting very exciting and all over the state, the women cried and said, no, we must have a female team. We must have a female tournament. And so we introduced the female tournament. It started with 10, and now we are 27 female teams that are participating. And equally, for inclusivity's sake, and for the fact that we have very active sportsmen in the para soccer industry, we have 2 para soccer players. And so that is what we have this year. And I tell you that it's going to be lots of fun across 34 playing fields in the country, in the state. And you can imagine the logistics and the activity that you take to move players from one location to the other. We're not playing just in Yonegwa. We are taking the officials, we are taking soccer to the grassroots. So we are taking people to the various 34 centers across the state. And this is really very exciting for us.
Okay, is there a specific age limit to this tournament? Because when we are talking about grassroots football, definitely we are clamoring for us to take it, catch them young and all. So what is the peg for age in this tournament?
Okay, first, we don't have a specific age limit because principally we want to make sure everybody's involved. But our technical team of scouts have a specific mandate to identify young players from the ages of 15, 16 to 20 years. That is our target. And so every match we go, we have scouts, we have the coordinators, even we have the media who are assigned to identify outstanding young players and list them out and bring them to a pool. This year, working with our FC Barcelona technical team, we have assigned a UEFA A graded coach, Eddie Dombraye, who is in Nigeria at the moment, and is working with us to identify these players. At the end of the tournament, 120 of these players that will be selected will be put together. Once they are together, they will put through a training programs over and over until we have a team of 22. Now, with that team, we already have an invitation from the FC Barcelona Academy. We hope to go to Spain or any other country in Europe to participate in an international football program where these players would find a way to express themselves and see clubs that they can participate in. So no age limit, but in spite of that, we have our target and we meet our target every year.
I'd like to also take you back to that question. Would there ever be an edition where we also involve the 7, 8, 9-year-old, because that is where we catch them young?
Okay, we've had that. People have brought that up to us over time. But you see, we don't want to fill up the whole ecosystem of football in the state. There are various organizations and groups that are already doing that. And there are various tournaments, even for the under 14-year-olds. So we allow them to handle that. We give them support. At times we give them support in terms of cash or trophies and kits. We allow them to do that. While we wait for them to graduate into the level where they can play academic football from the ages of 15, 16 to 20 years. So that is still ongoing across the state, but we handle this. But one thing that has come to mind is the fact that where are the clubs from? I will tell you one interesting fact. This year, 3 hours into the Atlantic Ocean in Brass, we have 2 teams from northern Nigeria. That it means that people who are resident in Brass, who live and do their business in Brass, form 2 teams from the north, the Arewa Strikers. We have 2 teams there, and in Bayelsa we have 3 other teams there. We have teams from the southeast, the Ohanese Strikers, we have the Afenifere Boys, we have teams like that. And this gives us a lot of joy. Why? Because everyone is involved. We have the police machine team. Now, there's something that should interest you. We are working out the final logistics, but the prisons, they have a team. And this is interesting. The prison boss was saying, no, our boys play good soccer. In fact, they beat some teams that come there. We want a team. And so they put together a team, and guess the name of the team? The Freedom Strikers of Yenagoa. And we have assigned a special field in their correctional center. Sorry, it's called Correctional Center. We've assigned a special field in the Correctional Center for these Freedom Strikers to play. The question is, when we get to the finals, if they get to the finals, how do we handle that? I'm sure the prison boss will know how to manage his boys. But you see, this gives us joy that everybody wants to be part of this tournament. The indigenes, the non-indigenes, even those in the correctional centers, in the schools, the police, and it's really very exciting. And one thing we've always noticed, it is a fact, documented fact, that every time this tournament starts, crime rate in the state drops. It drops to a very low level. Crime rate in the state drops. And the police boss, successive police bosses have attested to that fact. And we're happy that we have contributed somehow to society, to bringing the boys out of the creeks, to bringing them out of the streets, to stopping their addiction to various substances, and to getting them gainfully engaged. Because this tournament starts for almost 6 months, half a year. In December, we start selling forms, and so teams begin to train. In January, the forms close, we start screening. Then in February, it kicks off. We end in May. So you can see it's almost a full year of activity, because after we finish in May, the teams that have been put together will now play tournaments around the country and possibly one in Europe once we get the right sponsor. So this is our dream and our passion, and we're happy we're achieving that.
And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Sportsfile on Africa Independent Television. Remember that every great champion begins from somewhere, and grassroots sport remains the backbone of talent discovery and development. Thank you for watching. I am Osaigbovo Usifu. Do have yourself a pleasant weekend.
Thank you.